Good day, everyone. We are from Group 4, and we're gonna present our analyzing of the red convertible. And I'm gonna introduce myself first. My name is Aidha, and I accompanied by my friends. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Falinda Zulfanani, and today's agenda is this. So we are going to talk about the plot, character, narrative perspective, and setting of the Red Convertible story.
Okay, so before we are going to the plot, we're gonna briefly introduce the writer, which is Louise Erdrich. Louise Erdrich is born in 1954 in Little Falls, Minnesota. She grew up in North Dakota, and she is a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa. Chippewa. In 1976, Erdrich returned briefly to North Dakota to teach in the Poetry in the Schools program and went to Johns Hopkins University where he earned a master's degree in creative writing, and she now lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, now we're gonna go to the plot. First one is exposition. The story starts with Lyman Lamartine describing his early life and his close friendship with his brother Henry. Henry and Lyman are Chippewa or Indians, and they live on a reservation in North Dakota. Lyman talk about their shared experience and the red convertible they purchased together. Lyman gave insights into their bond and the significance of the red convertible as a symbol of their connection. Lyman also subtly introduced elements of the foreshadowing and hints at the challenges him and Henry will face. For example, there are a mention of Henry's deployment to the Vietnam War, foreshadowing the traumatic events that will affect both brothers. So, in the beginning of the story, it shows that both brothers have a very happy life, but Lehman also mentioned that they have a very happy life until the boot of Henry was filled with water. Okay, now we're gonna go into the complication. Harry went off to fight in the Vietnam War. When he came back, he was not the same. The war changed him, and he was not able to connect with his brother Lemon like they used to. This makes their relationship difficult and sad. The red convertible, which used to symbolize their closeness and joy, become a symbol of the changes that the war brought into Henry's life. The complication is about how war affects people and their relationship, and in the story, it makes everything different for both Lyman and Henry. So when Henry came back from the Vietnam War, he was totally like a different person. So Lyman was trying so hard to get Henry's attention back. So he broke down their car, the red convertible. His intention was um, to get back Henry attention. So and it worked. So they bond together to repair the car.
And the next turning point. After repairing the car, Henry was starting to get better, and they uh, make up, they repair the car together. And then Bonita, their sister, make the brothers pose for a picture. After that, Lyman had a foreshadowing that he is terrified when he saw Wade Henry in the picture in the future and come back to the past. So after taking the picture, they went to the Red River, and Henry had an uncontrolled episode about his condition or his mental illness that man wake him up. Henry said that he knew what he meant and he intended to give it back to Lehman after repairing it. At first, Lehman rejected it and they had a fight for a while, like a real fight. They punched each other and then they drink a beer and Henry dancing unpredictably. The unpredictable dancing that Henry did is really funny in Lehman's point of view. So Lehman is laughing when he saw Henry dancing. But suddenly, Henry jumps into the river and swept away by the water. He said he wanted to call up his body, but he just swimming, but but he didn't come back. So Lehman tried to save him. He swam into the river, but he failed to save him until the sun is rising. After that, he gave up and he sank the red convertible into the river until there's no sound of the water after he sank the car. So these are the turning point or climax because in this part, the story reaching the highest part, which is climax. And after discussing, we came to conclusion that the story doesn't have resolution because resolution is where the story is going down. It can be a solution or how they became after the climax, but there is nothing in here. So the story ended up with open up, and the writer left us hanging with this ending. The next one, I'm going to explain about the characters. First, I'm going to talk about the Lyman Lamar, which is the character I, and also his brother Henry Jr. These two character is individualized character run, which means they are a realistic character. So in this story, they both of this character having changes, uh, character changes because there's a war in the middle of the story. So the character I is actually a good person. Like he have a bright personality because he always think that he can he can make money easily than his brother, which is not a common thing as a Chippewa. But brother change it. He changed it as well, uh, especially after the incident in the river. And for the Henry, he is actually a top character. He have a good character because actually Henry have a Indian nose that make people can resist him wherever he go, but he have a top personality that make him not getting swayed. But after he went to the war and he got jailed like for 3 years, he changed drastically. So that's why we concluded to that they are individualized character arc. And then the brothers mom and Susie are typified character flat because they are just being there for supporting the main character to be the main character. So they are just supporting to be there. Next, I'm going to explain about the modes of presentation in this story. So Erdrich using explanatory and dramatic at the same time. So what is explanatory? It is where the story is describing a person or a situation using a narration. Most of the part of the story using a narration, which is an explanatory. And the negative thing about this explanatory is it is telling you directly. So you can imagine it without thinking. So it kind of make you bored when you read it. And then the dramatic one is using dialogue or monologue. Sometimes some of the some of the character using dialogue when they are talking. So this is a good thing because this kind of dialogue can make the reader feel more involved, and as the reader you will feel more enjoyed when you read this. The next we have the narrative perspective. In the red convertible using the first person narration by main character. So the main character Layman Lamartine is using I to describe his point of view. So it is used to emphasize the from the eyes of the main character. The next one is point of view. They using uh, he using stream of consciousness technique, which is uh, it doesn't have any anything that structures. So it's just narrating, and it tells story of the way a person thinking, and it doesn't have to be structured.
Okay, now we move on to the setting. The story was set against the backdrop of the Chippewa community where Henry and Lehman Lamassine live. The specific location within North Dakota is not explicitly mentioned, but the narrative emphasized the brothers' connection to their cultural and familial roots. The story also briefly explaining other settings, such as the events surrounding Henry's deployment to the Vietnam War. Now, to the last part of our presentation is moral of the story. The story shows how close the two brothers are and how war affects them. Bad experiences like war can hurt people and their relationship. It tells us that the mark lasts a long time, and it's tough to go back to the way things were. This story teaches us to care about and understand people who have been through hard times, and it says we should be there to help them through the tough feeling that things around.
So that is all from us. If you have anything to ask, you can write the question or critics in the replay section in the civic jar in slot presentation 2, which is in pertemuan 13. So for listening.
Thank you.